Oh, hello there! Last episode, I got ray marching to render voxels of different sizes as they get far away from the camera. Today, I get the same performance improvement while working on 1 unit size voxels. This is achieved with a proprietary Octree compression model. The data structure has 2 possible states for every block. Each block is either a block ID or a step distance, determined by a compressed bit flag. This is essentially a signed distance field, stored wherever air occupies the block grid. But calculating a linear distance field is exponentially time-consuming, so we calculate a sparse voxel octree first. Then we convert each cohesive cubic area of air into a distance value representing the dimensions. 1 is 1 by 1 by 1, 2 is 2 by 2 by 2, 3 is 4 by 4 by 4, etc. By making the distance field exponential, it reduces the exponential problem to a linear one. The hard part is knowing where a ray escapes an exponentially sized cubic region. A size 4 region could indicate a step size from 0.001 to 7 units long, depending on the ray's entrance position. We have to traverse each model as an octree, despite no octree existing in memory. This is accomplished with dividing and rounding block positions onto different grids. The entire purpose of this complexity is to remove the tree traversal required in a traditional sparse voxel octree. Every part of the octree can be sampled in O of 1 time now instead of O of log of n. Given the structure of the GPU, this saves immense time. All this optimization is for ray marching empty space quickly, since that is 99% of the traversal time in an opaque scene. Hitting a solid block is the exit condition. Color variations represent where rays took additional steps to reach their target. Darker areas took longer to calculate. I had many mathematical issues when trying to step the correct distance while using this compressed data structure, but once corrected, the performance is miraculous. Adding textures makes it far easier to picture the final vision for static terrain rendering. I wanted to ensure the new data structure was efficient for more advanced ray behavior, so I implemented basic reflections. Here are a few visual effects achieved when the reflection angle is wrong, or when the colors are additive instead of averaged. Reflections can be used to calculate realistic shadows that form inside divots between blocks. This is called ambient occlusion, and is not usually calculated using reflection math due to the computational requirement. This was another experiment. The colors in this video represent the direction vector that each pixel projects into the world. Though quite interesting, I failed to integrate it with the Unity editor on first try. This led to an interesting crash. This is unedited footage. Now that I had the shaders working live in the editor, I could make changes without reloading the scene. This increased my development speed greatly when debugging small math errors and when playing around with lighting effects. By converting the texture input of my shader into a texture array, I can use a variety of textures to color the world. Each block is assigned an integer ID on the CPU when generated, and that determines which texture is applied to each block. Due to the lack of mip mapping in the current implementation, distant voxels tend to look very noisy, with effects including moire. It tends to hurt the eyes, but is fairly easy to fix down the road, or blur out. Naturally, I had to play with ray distortion in the newly expanded world. Having each ray slowly rise upwards as it gets further from the camera makes the world feel as if it curves downward inversely, just like it would in a realistic horizon on a spherical planet. By butchering the typical 3D perspective that we know and love, we can get a strange orthographic upside-down mess. By reversing the effect of a typical horizon, we can make the world rise up like a tsunami in the distance. Next episode, we push this new data structure to the limit with absurd render distance and silly texture projection mapping. See you then.